Hello? I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay, I think you can. I've got the stream pulled up over here. Yes, okay, you can hear me. I might be a little quiet. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't even know if anybody's here yet, but I figured I'd get started because I don't really want to talk about this game. This is a pretty bad game. Jelson's here though. And sorry, okay, before we get into it, anybody that's watching the VOD, you're watching live too. As you can see, I've got some new things happening. We've got this chat box that looks atrocious right now. We're figuring it out. I'm trying a different software. But anyways, Jelson, welcome to the chat. Cat Wancho tier, D'Lo Glenn Taylor tier. They were both awful. Hey, they were both awful tonight, and it was a bad game. Not a fun game to watch. Timberwolves lose a 114 to 102. I will say, the first half of the game was really bad. Or no, the first half of the game was just like slowly getting worse. Not fun, pretty bad. And then we kind of got to the point where, in the third and fourth quarter, we kind of made some comebacks. Beasley hit that shot at the end of the first half, which was nice. And then we had there was a time where we went on an 11-0 run, then we gave up 9-0 run, and then we went on another run that I think we even tied the game near the end of the game. But then you just lose it at the end when you bring back your starters or whatever you want to call them this year or today. I mean, just not good. Bad performance. Towns started again. Towns has had some really good starts to games lately. He started really good for the most part offensively. He had one really stupid turnover, but like he's shooting off early and often in the games, and it's nice to see. But yeah, no, it's just it's rough. So, anyways, welcome if you're new here. I appreciate everybody who's showing up. If you're watching the VOD, I'll keep it short for you so you don't have to live in the misery of Timberwolves going below 500 again. I get nervous only because the Timberwolves don't seem to be a team that goes back and forth, win, loss, win, loss. It seems as if it's like win, 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 loss, 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 loss. So I'm ready for now, like 5-game losing streak. Beasley A. Leo is his own tier of awful. Man, why did Leo start? I've been interested to see some Leo minutes here and there, but like, why is he starting? It doesn't make any sense to me why he would start on a night like tonight. Yeah, Godfrey, super pathetic. It was really bad tonight. I do think that we started the game okay, but like, should we really be going toe to toe with a team that has like literally every top tier player for them out? I mean, Luka's out. We've got Porzingis out. They're throwing in. I mean, Jalen Brunson is like insane. Is it Jalen Brunson? I don't even know. I might be screwing that up, but it's Brunson. I know that. He's just a Timberwolves killer apparently, and not good. But Gerald Boom. Yeah, this is a tough one to watch. Stats wise, if you look at the game, you look at our top players, you'd be like, not a bad game. It was a bad game. It's a bad game. Leo starts because D'Lo can't guard Jalen Brunson. I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. I didn't pay attention too much to into D'Lo's defense tonight, and I do think that D'Lo's defense, the more I've paid attention to it, like specifically, he's just not really athletic. He's pretty unathletic, and like Towns is unathletic too. They're both just Cat is a good shooter, but D'Lo can be a good shooter. He just has not been for us a lot this season. Even his good games haven't really been that good shooting. I think that D'Lo has had a lot of good games this season, even with his terrible shooting. But I mean, like 4 of 18, you can't have that when you have like so many main players for us out, which is like, I guess, the thing that I felt coming into this game. Maybe this is totally inaccurate. Maybe someday I'll be a sideline reporter for the Wolves and I'll be able to tell you way more insight. But, what this game felt like at home to me is it felt like, oh, we just got to 500 and we've got 5 of our major players sick or hurt or whatever. So what if we lose? So what? Who cares? That's what it felt like from everybody. And I don't just mean like the lower tier guys. I mean like Towns, D'Lo, everyone. That's what it felt like to me. So, let's see. I got to catch up on chat. Do I deserve a mod father? We're still working out the mod thing. I have to. Ashwin's been really busy, so I haven't been able to really talk to him that much, which feels really weird to not talk to Ashwin as much. But we got to talk about mods and stuff like that because we will for sure be getting mods at some point. We just have to talk through, see if we want to do that right now, see if we want to do it later, but we will at some point need mods. So, let's see. It shows how bad our defense is when Vando is out. Yeah, Bev, yeah, no, for sure. Vando and Bev, even though like defensive wise, they're great. They're not like necessarily like so great, but their energy is what keeps other players somewhat engaged. Um, yeah, I'm reading. Sorry, I'm reading chat. So very correct. I'm afraid for exactly this in the playoffs. Pick until D'Lo is guarding the score. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. Leo doesn't make $30 million a year. That's the other part about that. And the problem is that interestingly, D'Lo's kind of in that contract area of like how we had Wiggins, and it was like you have to give Wiggins a max, right? Like you can't not. That's kind of what it's like with D'Lo because he can be a great shooter, but and like a playmaker and like a major player in your team, but it's really it's really hard to do that. So, the amount of mental gymnastics Dave Benz went through to compare Wolves players missing to the Mavericks players out was amazing. Yes, I know. Yeah, he really wants to give the players the benefit of the doubt. I just, this is just a game that you have to win. This is a game coming into it that it's like, you know what? Sure, you have some things going against you, no doubt. But this is a game. There's absolutely no reason you should lose this game with players like Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, especially the amount of money that you're paying to those players. But I don't care so much about the money right now because we have. I mean, I will eventually, but today, whatever. But you can't have. You just like Towns was so great in the first half for the most part, and then again he just kind of doesn't. He just disappears. He was 9 of 14 shooting. That's fantastic shooting. Why isn't he taking 28 shots, not 14? I'd rather him take 28 shots and even ruin his 64% shooting and turn it into like 40 by taking that many shots. I'd rather that happen. But let's see. Oh, hey, I don't have a Twitter. Can I get in the Discord info? Yes, Gerald. Oh, shoot. I forgot to post. I was going to have Nightbot start posting in chat again. I took Nightbot out for a while because it was kind of going crazy. But I will. I wonder if I can DM you somehow. Maybe I'll put the link in the chat. Would that work? Maybe I'll try that. I'll put it in the end of the chat near the end of the night. But and we're not going to be super long tonight. I don't want to keep you guys. I know we're in a holiday week, so I don't want to keep you late. And I want to go play video games. So, let's see. Vando's energy. Yep. No rush. Just whenever. Sounds good. Cool. Well, we're trying new things, so hopefully you guys can all hear me okay. Hopefully the mic doesn't sound too bad. I haven't really put all the filters and stuff on it, so it might sound a little different. But what we're going to do, we're going to do the highlights like we did the other night, and hopefully it works. Here we go. Let's try it. Okay, I think it's working. I think you can hear me. Now, let me pull up the highlights. Where did they go? There they are. All right. I think it's working, right? Yes, it is. Look at that. Although I can't see you guys, so maybe I'll pull you up on my iPad here. There we go. All right. So we start the game. We don't really need the volume. So we start the game. Towns playing aggressive. I thought on that play he was going to hurt his hand. And he was actually holding it down the next possession. I was like, seriously, he hurt his hand on a dunk the first play of the game. But no, we actually came out with decent energy. This play was insane, and I wish they'd show Towns' reaction. Yeah, it is so funny to me. I usually find a lot of the stuff that Towns does for like celebratory things very cringy, but I thought that was really funny, and he really did break him down on that play. That was funny. Some good pick and roll action with Towns and D'Lo. I mean, we're playing well. There was a play right after this though, or maybe it was just before that, where Towns just threw like the stupidest full court pass that I've ever seen. Again, just like we talked about the last episode, he takes so much time to decide what he's gonna do, and then he throws it down court. Man, Drives me crazy. But there's one of the many threes I think that Beasley made tonight. Let's take a look here. What did we end up? Did we get Arby's? I didn't even check. We got Arby's. No tickets though. That's okay. Another heavy night for Jaden. I wonder what Jaden did stat wise tonight. I didn't really look that deeply yet into the box score. Mavs announcers had Dirk guest announcing the whole night. They were salty because Towns said, "I'm the greatest shooting big." Yeah, I mean, okay. I think that's an interesting argument, and I personally think it's just like the arguments of like, oh, is MJ or LeBron, or like, these like generational kind of things. Like the game is just so different from time to time. Like when Dirk was in the league, given it wasn't that long ago, but like he played for so long that he was in a different era of basketball. The mid range was a thing, and here in this league, it's like all threes. By the way, this Jake Layman like reverse lay-in alley-oop was crazy. I thought he was gonna throw it down, but Towns is, I mean, he is one of the, if not the, I mean, I guess he is probably the best big shooting man ever by true shooting percentage, like you said. I think he is, even though I know I'm the one that's so critical on him about so many things. But that's the thing. I'm never critical on Towns about his skill. I'm critical of his mindset. He has these lackadaisical like thoughts and like things that he tries to do, like behind the back passes and stuff like that just drive me insane, that are not winning plays. But is he a skilled player? Of course, it's undeniable. Also, I mean, I've said this before, but like I just have my opinions about, can a big man be like the number one player on your team? I don't think so. But I think Towns is probably the best person to have in that situation to try it. But I don't know. Let me pull up stats again because I wanted to see as we were watching this. So yeah, McDaniels again. Oh, he didn't have that bad. He only had 8 shots tonight. That's better. Beasley, incredible night. Beasley had 22 points, 8 of 15 shooting, finally shot over 50%. I got to check up on chat. I forgot. It's not on my screen. Is Towns going with the no shirt under the jacket look in the post? No, seriously. Towns is nowhere near close to Dirk. Shooting-wise, I mean, I think shooting-wise, he is better. I do think that. I mean, I'm not saying, and when people do these arguments, it makes it sound like they're totally discrediting the other player. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, I grew up watching Dirk play, dominating the Timberwolves, and hitting his mid-range Dirk shots, and like even like near the end of his career, he was hitting lots of threes too. So it's not like, I'm not saying that he's nowhere near. Like obviously, this is a very close conversation as a shooter. Now, who's the better player? Dirk. 100%, because Towns is not won. Towns has not proven how to win. He hasn't shown any real signs of knowing how to win, and he still makes just insane boneheaded plays. But I do think that Towns is a better shooter just because he can shoot so well from three. But anyways, I don't really care about that argument at all. So if you think I'm wrong, I just agree with you. I really just do not care about those kind of arguments because who cares if Dirk was better or Towns was better? It literally means nothing because Dirk has won a championship, Towns has won nothing. So that's my opinion, I guess. Let's see. Towns is 5th in total threes all time, but he's also in his 20s. Yeah, no, exactly. Only thing Layman did all game was that reverse layup. Yeah, I know. He actually had a block that I think was a clean block, but they called it goaltending. Critical of the parts of the game that are optional. Yeah, defense. Defense kind of for both of them though. Towns passed up way too many good-looking threes tonight. Yeah, he does. He does have this hesitation, and I just don't understand it. I mean, clearly the decisions that he's making to shoot, he's hitting on so many. I mean, he's 9 of 14 tonight. There's so many times in a game where so many games where he is shooting like, well over 50%. So he's making the right decisions when to shoot. But like I said earlier, I'd much rather him have taken 28 shots than 14 tonight. So D'Lo's shot was off tonight. Jared, it's been off unfortunately almost all season. Even in his good games, the only real good shooting game that I can recall is the Philly game. Let's see. Joshua Green, very off, barely catching the rim most of the time. I assume you're talking about, you're talking about D'Lo, yes. Yes, D'Lo, man, there were lots of shots that he missed by so much. this weird Beasley like Kawhi Leonard shot bouncing in. It's a confident thing. He said it to himself in a press conference that he was in a 3-point slump at the moment. Are you talking about D'Lo or are you talking about Cat? Because Cat, I feel like, has been solid all year. Again, so this was a moment in the game where we had brought it back, and then they just go on like their own run. Suddenly, it doesn't matter. Everything we just did is erased. Totally pointless and stupid. D'Lo did do this. It's weird. I see that D'Lo was 4 of 18, but I feel like he was not 4 of 18. It seems impossible to me that 4 of 18. Let's see. Cat said that. Interesting. I mean, he has had a couple bad games, I guess, recently, but I just still think I just have a lot of confidence when Cat shoots a 3. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm off on that, but I see Cat load up for a 3, contested or not, and I'm like, yes, Okay, here's another moment. We are within 1 point with 9 minutes to go. We still have yet to bring in our starters, and we're in a very good situation. We've got Nathan Knight out there. We've got Jaden, Nas, Noel, and D'Lo. This is a great opportunity if we can really take a lead, which we did. But then we bring back our starters, and immediately, also that I looked like an offensive foul. I don't know. I didn't see the replay, but we start to lose it a little bit with these guys still out here. So then we brought in, and then just all these teams just hit the most stupid shots against us always. Let's see. He's done on himself with 3-point shooting. I think that might explain it. Yeah. I mean, Gerald, like the starters tonight, we had Leo starting. But yeah, we bring back in the starters here. Look, and it's just suddenly defense scrambling, can't catch up, dunk, terrible. Too common. Marquise Chris too, man. These players that like other teams laugh at, they just absolutely dominate us. Just dominate us. Nas played well tonight. I don't really remember that, but maybe he did. He did have that crazy dunk that I don't think got enough recognition. That was kind of, all of Nas's dunks are wild. Weird play, man. Towns just gets lucky, takes a step back 3, and see, this is the thing. I love Towns' 3-point shot. JJ Creates is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. It really showed Mr. 32 doesn't take conditioning seriously. All that dead weight in his torso removes his quickness advantage, and he's not a bruiser. JJ, I always agree with you. Yeah. Yeah, it is a conditioning thing. He doesn't, I don't want to go too far into the complaining just because, we're just below 500. We're still in a good spot going forward for this being a playoff season for us. But yes, you're right. He doesn't take it 100% seriously. He's very focused on some other things off the court. He's very focused on basketball, but not on he wants all the accolades. If he wants the accolades, he has to go crazy, and it has to be his life. And I don't know if that is the truth right now. So, all right, special guest tonight, Dave Benz. Scary Dave Benz. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, good. Sorry, I have to make sure you guys can hear me on every single thing. I've got chat on the tier list. Oh my goodness. And you guys are stretched because I couldn't figure it out, so I had to last minute stretch it to make it fit. So hopefully it's somewhat you can read it. I don't know, but Dave Benz is here to comfort you or scare you. Anyways, Dave, blink if you're okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through the tier list. Chat looks fine, thank goodness. On my end, it looks a little funky. So, if you're new here, this is what we do every night. We do a tier list of the players of the night. So we go through every single player, some less than others. Obviously, the starters get a lot more attention than the bench players. But this is just a rating on tonight. So C is what we expected out of a player. Kind of hard to judge because you never get exactly what you expect. Think of LeBron. You probably expect 27, 7, and 7, the LeBron stat line. But he's literally never had that in his career. So, we're waiting for that kind of everybody's LeBron factor. Not 27, 7, and 7. But we expect Jake Layman to get 2-0-0, that's a Jake Layman 2-0-0. And that's basically what we got out of him today. He got 3-0-0. So, that's what it means. A1 is unforgettable, never forget it. Like Anthony Edwards against the Heat, Anthony Edwards and Cat last year getting like 41 and 42 or something crazy like that. Most of you guys that are here already know this, but for those of you watching the VOD, I know we have a lot of new people watching the VOD, so I appreciate that. We're 5 subs away from 100, so I would appreciate any new subs. But anyways, I'm calling Dave and telling him to actually come on the show. Please do. I'd love to have Dave on the show. That would be fun. Especially because Ashwin's so busy with other things right now, and honestly, I might be busy with other things coming up here soon. But I'd love to have Dave on the show. That would be so fun. Talk about ant facts. Talk about how he needs to have like an intervention. Dave, if you're watching this now, we're all here. We're all friends. We can all be nice. We cannot use things and sayings like ants shrink and regrow their brains. That's just not something that should be said in the context of basketball. So I won't give you a Wancho tier tonight. I will keep you off the tier list. But just saying. Anyways. Compelling truth coming up in the chat. I'm often surprised by Jake even getting these 2 days. Yeah. Dude looks worse in every game. Compelling truth. Welcome to the chat, first off. And that is a compelling truth. So, Jake Layman, I've been a pretty strong advocate of Jake Layman getting minutes. Him getting minutes now, maybe he shouldn't. It's not been good. He's looked pretty rough. I will say there's certain things about his game that I think are nice, but man. Yeah, I thought Jake was the glue guy during the 2019-2020 season. I did too. I thought Jake and the contract we got him on was like gold. I was like, man, he was just like a bench player for Portland and he had like good minutes. I think I was kind of confusing him and Zach Collins though. Him and Zach Collins kind of went back and forth between who had like good nights. So, Gerald Becker, I think I'm going to like compelling truth. Yes, exactly. All right. Well, anyways, we're going to get into it. If you haven't already, like the stream. No more promos for me. You go ahead and promo in the chat. I don't care. But anyways, so we had a lot of people that didn't play tonight. There's some new names that didn't show up. So Silva, Tucker, McKinley Wright, which, man, the one thing I'll say, McKinley Wright needs minutes. The fact that McKinley Wright did not get any minutes, I don't even know if he was on the team or on the bench tonight. I know they called him up, but I didn't pay attention. Actually, he might be in the video that I'm just seeing in the background. If he was there, he didn't get minutes. That's ridiculous to me that J-Mac did. I know J-Mac has played at the NBA level, but man, McKinley Wright, when he gets some playing time, I truly think, I know this is coming hot off of my Jake Layman take, but like, I truly think he'd be such a difference maker in one of these situations where we're really like down. You know, we need some players. We don't have Pat Bev. He would have been a perfect player to throw in, you know, defensively and offensively. He's going crazy in G League. It's just, he should be getting minutes. But anyways, that's my 2 cents. Everybody else was effed here. No, I'm just kidding. But McKinley Wright deserves minutes. I'm not going to grade him, but he deserves minutes. So, anyways, and does anybody know, does Taurean Prince also part of this group that is, whatever it's called? What am I trying to say? COVID protocols or whatever? He must be, right? But McKinley is better on D than Jordan. Of course. Yeah, exactly, Jared. Yes. Yeah, Prince is COVID. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Anyways, let's start with the players that did play. Oh, I got to pull up the thing. And hopefully you guys don't mind looking at Dave the whole time. But least amount of minutes tonight is Jake Layman with the Jake Layman stat line of 3 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks. Jake Layman, he did have a block. I think he should have had that block. I think that actually was a block. I think you guys are going to say things like, you're going to say it's really low probably. What do you guys say for a grade? Because like, I think you guys are going to say like Wancho or something. But okay, so we've got a C, we've got a D. He was bad. Again, remember, C is what we expect out of a player. I personally probably expected more than this from him, but that's my own fault. He had a nifty alley-oop finish. Yes, that was good. Even the Mavs broadcasters. Oh yeah, see Gerald, I think it was. They didn't even replay it on the Timberwolves one. I don't think they replayed the one before that from Knight, I think, but they didn't play the Jake Layman one. So, anyways, I think it's a D because he was worse than I expected. Given he had some moments that I guess were good Jake Layman moments, good moments for a Jake Layman type player. But I think it's a D tier. I don't think I can. I can't say that he was a C. It was just not a great night from him. Need more from him. Also, we lost, so it's kind of hard to give players really good grades when we lost, especially a game where it's like we so much should have won, like so much. Anyways, all right, get your grades in for Nathan Knight. Nathan Knight. Okay, I'm gonna read his stats. So I gotta move myself too. So Nathan Knight only played 13 minutes. He had 3 points, 4 rebounds. He did have a block. Could have had 2. He almost had another one. Let's see. He was 1 of 3 shooting. He had 3 personal fouls. He was a team high +8. Team high +8. Jelson says C or A1. I think you're talking about. I think you're talking about Jake Layman. I'd say for who was I talking about? Knight. Thank you, JBX. I'd say for Knight he had a pretty good night. Knight. No, I think he did. I think he looked good out there. I do think defensively he looks like he can block a shot, but like actually like guarding somebody. And maybe I'm spoiled because I'm used to seeing like Cat, who's somebody who is like capable of guarding a 3-point shooter. Like Knight was just blown by a couple times, and it's like he's just like out of place. He doesn't know how to like get in the right places. Just like clear needs more time kind of a thing. But offensively, like he had those. I think a lot of his rebounds came on one possession actually, where he kept trying to lay it in. I was really hoping he'd get an and one there. He did miss a free throw tonight also. But no, I mean, I thought we got better minutes than we'd probably expect from him for the situation that we're in. I wouldn't probably say A or anything like that. JBX says probably B because we lost, yeah. Gerald says A, Knight. Great energy, almost 2 blocks. Yeah, on Boban. He jumped him several times. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if it's an A, though. I think A is really high. And I know that we're basing it off what we expect, and what do we expect out of Nathan Knight? Not much. But he also didn't produce that much. And sure, he had the energy, and he was a +8. But, yeah. Really impressive if you ask me. JJ Creates as B. Should have a meh tier. I mean, yeah, that's almost kind of a C tier kind of a thing. Maybe B should be meh, and then we have like a higher. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna add like a million tiers. He'll get more minutes next week, at least, so we can see him a bit more consistently. Yep, I'm excited to see a lot of these players more consistently, which is exactly why they should have played McKinley Wright. But anyways, expected when you've played very little in the NBA. Exactly, you're talking about the defense. Honestly, I think he just needs more minutes to figure stuff out. Yep, test. Jelson, you did it. And Dave Ben still hasn't blinked. Anyways, we need more games to form an expectation bar, though. That is true. I'm still going to go, I think I'm going to go with a B, though. I think we're going to kind of average it out. I don't think this was, like, that good of a performance. It was definitely a good performance for somebody that, like, we don't have many expectations for. But, like, overall, like, I think to get into that A tier, we're talking, like, you did really well. Like, you really outshined. And I think he did well, but we lost, and it wasn't, like, that crazy. So, but yeah. Anyways, oh, your delay is better now. Good. Okay, good. I'm also, it might be, I don't know if you did something, but I am streaming from just a regular OBS, not OBS Streamlabs. So, trying new things here. Seeing what it looks like. Anyways, who's up next? I'm taking way too much time on these bench players. So, next up, we've got Jordan McLaughlin. Man, oh man. Jordan had a rough night. I did not like his night tonight. He only played, well, I guess he played 17 minutes. He had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 1 of 4 shooting. Defensively, he's just not good. He did have that nice cut where D'Lo, I think, found him, and he had a lay-in and an and one or something like that, which was good. But it's like, man, we just need more out of you, and especially when we have somebody like McKinley Wright on the bench who's a defender. He's a defender. It would just be so much better. Jarrett Culver A1. I know he's in the did not play. I should probably put him in the Glenn Taylor tier. Um, D Mac, yes. Wancho tier in what does it say? Glenn Taylor tier or Wancho in Glenn Taylor tier? Yeah, it's just a forever kind of a thing. I guess maybe he should be in Wancho tier, but I don't know. Wancho disappoints Wancho, so Culver is A1 in our hearts. Yeah, are you Culver Goat on Twitter? He, by the way, he privated and he only lets people like certain people see things. But anyways, yeah, J Max just he does get very flustered at times. Like he's a point guard obviously, so he can ball handle somewhat, but it's still just like man, it's rough. So I don't like it. I don't like it. I personally really didn't like it. I don't want to go too crazy mean on him because it wasn't like the worst performance, but I'm gonna give him a. I don't think it was Wancho because he didn't like actively take away from the team that much. I mean, he did at times, but like it was also just kind of like placeholder minutes. So I guess D. D might be meh. Maybe D is better for like a meh tier. That might be better. And then Wancho is bad. Glenn Taylor is like ultimate failure. uh, all right, we're gonna move on though. I don't wanna talk about it too much. Yeah, Balmaro only played 11 minutes. Oh my goodness. Um, okay. Anyways, last of the bench players, we got Jalen Noel, who unfortunately tonight did have an L. Um, let's see. Glenn is the special level of hell. No, actually, I deeply enjoy Culver being off the team. He's just so bad and it's so funny. Yeah, I know. He's rough, which is so sad because like, we don't need to go over draft stuff. Never mind. I'm going off on tangents. Anyways, so Jalen Noel, who had an L tonight, 24 minutes, only 8 points, 4 of 8 shooting though. This was an interesting night from Jalen Noel. Because he still had some of his moments where I felt like he still got his shot somewhat tonight. He's shooting 50%, so I like that. I guess I'm kind of craving more shots from him, but at times he did take some of those shots that I've seen in the past, and I've been very critical of for somebody that doesn't really get that many minutes, and I shouldn't be being so critical on them. But like he plays in a very Shabazz Muhammad like selfish manner at times. He did, and I don't think he's like that as much anymore, or really at all. But there were a couple shots tonight where it was like, that's kind of it. Like there was one where he just threw it up like as a layup, I don't know if he was trying to get a call or what, but it was a terrible shot. Then he had 1-3 where he just kind of chucked it up. It just was like a bad shot at a bad time. But I still really am liking the Noel minutes. I don't know if it's just that I'm looking for something different or what, but I'm enjoying them. I didn't think it was that bad. So, yeah, Dave's a little stressed. Dave, you gotta calm down. He's just bursting at the seams trying to say an ant fact. But yeah, Dave, it's compelling truth. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I hope Noel gets some more minutes. I think seeing more minutes of him, I think anytime you get a shooter coming off the bench, especially a shooter that can make shots like Noel can, I think it's going to be good. And we need to get him ready because if we're going to be in the playoffs, we're going to need players like that. We're going to need him to be ready to step in for if D'Lo's out or if Pat Bev's out. Or just as a bench guy. We're going to need 3-4 solid bench guys or trades. I don't want to say that because it's nice to talk about some of these players as we've developed them and get excited about them. But like realistically, if we want to make noise in the playoffs this year, we probably need to trade some of our bench players. Or I'm not even saying like a Miles Turner, but just somebody more established than the bench players that we have. Sure, maybe you could work with everybody that we have. Maybe it could, but I think it's smarter to do something like that. Maybe get a vet. I don't know. Just it would be nice. But yeah. So Jalen, I had a pretty good night. Me personally, it wasn't a bad night from him, but I also don't think it was like a great night from him. So I'm kind of leaning towards a C. This is more of what I'd expect from him. Again, it's kind of tricky because we're still kind of learning, like you guys were saying earlier. We're still kind of learning what to expect from him. But like this is probably pretty close to what I expect. So I think C makes sense, but I don't know. I think that makes sense. You guys disagree with C? JJ says C. Gerald says B. I think that's how my brain is right now, but I don't think he actually was a B. I'm gonna go C because I don't want to spend more time on him. We gotta get through everybody. C Godfrey. Okay. Yeah, like a Larry Nance would be a great thing if we could get that. If they're willing to part with him for a couple of our bench pieces, like, I mean, I know you. I don't know. I don't remember what your guys' opinion is on Jaden, like availability wise. I'd be very down to trade like a Jaden and a. I don't know. I mean, Noel right now I'm really liking. You know, like I don't know what you give up in that situation. That's really tricky. Weird trade because there's certain things that they need, certain things that they don't need. Kind of weird, but anyways, 8 points, 24 minutes. Yeah, I mean, he should be getting more points for sure. I was kind of hoping for a double-digit point game from him, and not just 10, but like something close to his last game. You know, he had 16, which was really awesome to see, and that would have made a huge difference tonight. But Jaden doesn't row the boat for me like he did last season. Yeah, he didn't really row the boat for me last season either. I was not a fan. It was definitely the rookie season Kool-Aid. I also think that players like that, where they come out of nowhere and they're not like super skilled, second year teams scout them and they figure it out, you know, and then they put the pressure on, and that's why the players are lower in the draft. Not to say that he can't figure it out, but overall I'm just not super high on him. But anyways, again, I'm going off on tangents. So on to the starters. Leandro Balmaro started, and I still can't believe that. It's unbelievable to me, especially because he only played 11 minutes. And you want to know why he played 11 minutes? Because he did not look good. He had some good takes tonight. You're talking about Jaden? Yes, he did. Jaden actually, I didn't hate Jaden tonight. We'll get into Jaden a little bit later. But anyways, Balmaro had 0 points, 2 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 0 shot attempts. He had a personal foul, a turnover, and he was a -7, which was not team high or anything like that. But I just did not like his game. It looked really raw. It looked like what I expected. I think the first game that he started, it looked way better than I expected. And like his defense, he was really aggressive. I don't know if he was just super hyped up because it was his first night or something, you know, kind of the Wiggins effect versus like the Cavs or something like that. Like he was super hyped and he was like rearing to go defensively. Offensively still was not good. But tonight was just bad. I thought this was another Finch kind of questionable lineup thing. It's like, I know we're kind of trying to figure things out as we go, but like I just did not like this. I really was hoping for like even like Jalen Noel, you know, or I mean, if you're gonna, I don't know. The Balmaro thing is strange to me because he's just so raw right now and not good. I feel like he just needs more playing time, and maybe G League makes sense for him, and we could have McKinley right up here. But he's a project for sure. We've got, let's see, none of my comments are showing up. I see this one, Jelson. Interesting. Wonder where they went. I promise I'm not doing anything. I don't even know how to. I don't even have anything pulled up. Let's see. Juancho Moro. Are you talking what? Balmaro project. He's literally incapable of putting any pressure on defense, NBA defense to score. Yeah, no, true. Yeah, it's really bad. We need to use him differently, or something needs to change. I think it should just be McKinley right minutes, and he should go to the G League. But his shot might be the worst on the team. His shot might be like worse in the league. It's so bad. It's really bad. You've been shadow banned by Dave Benz. That's what it is. Dave Benz. You see how unhappy he is? That's why your comments aren't going through. Okay. Anyways, Balmaro, really bad. I'm gonna say, I guess we don't expect much out of him, but at the same time, this is almost more of like Finch's issue. But like he was Wancho tier tonight. Like this was really bad, you know. Yeah, JVX, that's a good point. We wouldn't know he doesn't shoot. And I think there's a reason for that. And it's because it's so bad. So, Leo, I'm sorry to do this to you, but this was a Wancho tier night. I don't know if you even, I mean, you deserve it, but I don't know if you deserve the blame for it. Because you should not have been starting. You should not have been starting. It doesn't make any sense to me. This is our first watch out here in a little while, I feel like. How do you play 11 minutes and not take a shot? Uh, you are terrified to show your shot to the world. That's how. Yeah, it's crazy. His shot motion is insane. I wish I could pull it up really quickly because it's like the weirdest thing. Well, you could be Josh Okogie. That's one way. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, let's move on to let's do Jaden next. So Jaden played the most minutes, just like every game last season. He played 39 minutes. He had 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 4 of 8 shooting. He didn't hit a 3 though. He was 3 of 3 from the line. Had 4 personal fouls. Overall, though, Jaden's night was actually pretty good. This was kind of like last year, where he kind of got a little bit more in rhythm at times. He had some good takes. I think I was thinking about it. There was one drive to the rim that made me kind of think about Jaden and be like, maybe Jaden is a really smart player. He just doesn't have the physical tools yet, or the experience to navigate like the paint, like a crowded paint, or he doesn't have the experience like ball handling. He didn't have any turnovers tonight, but like we know that that's been a thing. So I don't know. I thought Jaden played pretty decent tonight. I'd probably lean higher than a C. But let me see what you guys are saying. It's not his fault. He's being thrown in the deep end big time. I fear we're gonna ruin him confidence wise. Also, you haven't done Naz Reid. I did skip Naz Reid. Thank you. We will go back to Naz Reid. Thank you, JBX. Jared says B. C. We'll do Naz. But I'm not sure how fragile Bump. Yeah, I mean he's so new, Also, I don't think he really had that good of a shot in. Well, I don't even remember. C for McDaniels, maybe a B. B needs to be able to hit a 3 to be higher than a C. What did he do in the offseason? He is worse this year. No, he definitely is worse this year. But I guess the tier list kind of flexes as like expectations flex. And like right now, I think maybe this is why I'm viewing him as a B tonight, because like I have pretty low expectations for Jaden. I don't want him shooting, and he shot a bit tonight. Not a ton. Third most on the team, or fourth most on the team again. But I think he was okay. He had 2 steals. He had kind of a crucial steal that kind of brought us into the game. 8 rebounds, making up for Vando. I mean, this is probably a light B, but let's see. What is 6 Cents saying? Which? We're not on Twitch. Am I streaming on Twitch right now? No, I'm on YouTube. I got scared there for a second. But yeah, I'm actually thinking Jaden off the bounce game is progressing. Maybe. Big Mac has some nice handles that just don't look fully polished. Exactly, compelling truth. Exactly. Because I think he does have like the IQ, but it's just not all there yet. It's like his IQ is moving faster than his body is. Keeps doing behind the back thing. Yeah, that's a little weird. And that's kind of like me. It's just like, it's just like getting used to a mechanism, It's like you try that. Like I tried doing like between the leg dribbling a lot when I was like shooting hoops like at a random park, or behind the back, and like trying to do like the Curry step back 3 kind of thing, But yeah, let's see. Jaden does better guarding 3. Yeah, probably, yeah. I think Jaden's off the bounce. Oh yeah, we already read that. Why don't you stream on Twitch anymore? Kind of a lot of reasons. I mean, Twitch, we just can't be found. We've had so many more people find us here. I mean, we're already almost at 100 followers after not even like half the season. It took us all year last year, and we had like a 40 sub head start, or not sub, but like follower start. It was crazy. So it took us a long time to get there. Doesn't really get pushed to that many people. I'm probably going to stream video games on Twitch, but as for like this, I think it makes more sense to have it on YouTube, along with our like some content that we might put out, which we've been really lazy and have not done. But I don't know. I think I like YouTube so far, and there's been a lot of things that have been a lot nicer with YouTube for NBA basketball specifically. You search Minnesota Timberwolves, you can't find anything on Twitter. But Jared says YouTube's where that Twitch is better for gaming. Exactly. I really enjoy watching Twitch for gaming. I religiously watch Twitch. I mean, Twitch is open on my iPad 24/7, and that's not even a joke. Like I have it on all night. I watch streams as I go to bed. I wake up, I get my work computer up, and then I turn on Twitch. Like Twitch is on all day. Um, but anyways, I bet Knight can shoot better than 25% from three. I mean, I'm willing to try it. Anyways, I don't know. I think you guys can convince me. I think it was a good game from Jaden, but I don't think it was like a great game. I'm gonna give him a C, unless you guys change my mind. I also feel bad because we have to go back to Nas and do Nas. So Nas Reed, we're gonna quickly do Nas. He had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3. Man, maybe he had a better night. I must have just missed some of these. I did take my dog out at a point, so maybe I missed some Nas moments. But yeah, I think Nas and I want to catch up on chat. I need to be one of the chatters, not the person on the screen. I have faith in Jaden's shot coming along eventually. I don't think it'd be smart to give too much of McDaniels minutes tonight. Need to see more night, but not at the cost of McDaniels. Interesting. Okay, yeah, Jared's already got Nas' grade in there. Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good night from Nas, I guess. I guess I'm just sleeping on him a little bit. He had good shooting. He had the dunk over. I mean, he had 3 threes in the dunk. So, he had blocks. He's playing up against Boban. So, it's kind of insane to see Boban standing next to Nas, who is a large human being. Nas is. And Boban just towers over him. It's insane. I do think it was a really good game from him. Let's see. I didn't think he played that well. Stats wise, yeah, I guess I see, and this is kind of where I am too. I'm kind of stuck in between. It's similar to Jaden's game for me because I thought that they did some good things. I actually think Jaden probably had a better game than Nas, but Nas, he hit the threes. He was in a tricky situation. How many fouls did Nas have? He only had 2 fouls tonight, so that's pretty good. But I think C probably makes sense. Also, I need to remember we lost, and this is a bad loss. Not a good loss. We're gonna do Nas a C and below Jaden, I think. That I want Jalen to be that low, but I don't know. Again, those 3 players are kind of interchangeable. Okay. Next up, I'm going all over the place. I'm getting thrown off. Let's do Malik Beasley. So Malik Beasley, arguably the player of the night. Well, yeah, I guess you could maybe argue it. 35 minutes, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Not really expecting anything from him in those departments. I guess you might hope for a little bit more rebounding without a Vando, but I mean, Cat had 14 rebounds tonight. Jaden had 8, so it's a lot of rebounds for them. 8 of 15 shooting, 6 of 12 from 3. He had half the Arby's promotion himself. He had 3 personal fouls, 4 turnovers, but he was a team high -19. Not good. I'm checking to see if Arby's is giving out free tickets, and they are not. Just in case you were wondering. Yeah, no, JJ, I agree. So with your Malik take, I didn't read the other chat. Some of the plays that they ran for Malik when the offense, it does look competent. It looks like he's coming off screens, passing it to him, and he doesn't even have to dribble. I've said this before. He just is able to shoot in motion or in rhythm, and it looks great. And I think this is where I'm pretty optimistic on Malik Beasley, which is why I'll be sad if we ever give him up. But at the same time, if we could get a player for Malik in return, I'd probably just take it. So yeah, that's what I would say. Maybe that's unfair, but yeah, I think he had a really good night. Let's see. As soon as Towns went back into the comeback, it was built up and was lost in the 4th. Yep. Yeah. B for Beasley, off my expected, but A, Beasley off this year's expectations. Yeah, that's true. B, I think he pushes the issue too much, though. He's one of the few flamethrowers on the team. Yeah. I do think that he has some of those moments that I was talking about with Jalen, where he's a little bit too selfish. I don't know if it's selfish. It doesn't feel selfish. It feels like he's trying to do his role, but like way too much, you know. Um, so I believe that there's good intentions there, but I think you guys are all accurate, and I think it's a B. And I'm probably gonna give him top of B tonight. I think we'll see. I don't know what the other players are gonna be, so I'm very curious to see the next two grades that you guys give. So next two, let's save Towns for last and do D'Lo. So we're gonna do D'Lo. Jared says if we traded Malik and someone else for Turner, I'd be okay with that. Yeah, see, that's kind of where I'm at. If we can get a Turner level player in return, I'm okay. Like if we're trading him for Larry Nance, it's like, no, I don't want to do that. His defense has come such a long way. That is true. All right, so D'Lo. His name is not D'Lo after tonight. It's just Low. That's true. Jared says C. Dave Benz does not like that take, JJ. I'm just letting you know. He still has not blinked. He did get cooked all night. And that's unfortunate because I've been kind of giving him props for his defense. And over the past couple games especially, it's been really bad. I think there were a few games in a row where I was kind of standing up for him because I think he had some pretty good on-ball defense at times. I do think he gets lost and leaves three-point shooters open too often. I do think that his shot right now is just really all season has not been there. But it's been pretty bad. Okay, let's see. D'Lo, Glenn Taylor tier, of course. I knew Godfrey was going to say that. D for D'Lo. He'd be Wancho level if he hadn't got the 12 assists. Yeah, 12 assists. I didn't even read his stats. So he had 14 points, 12 assists. He was 4 of 18 shooting, 1 of 11 from 3. 9%. He had 5 of 5 from free throw line. He did have that and one at the end of the third quarter. Three fouls and only 3 turnovers, which is not terrible for a point guard. Jake Erickson says, I missed the game. Brunson went off. Yeah, you better believe it. I've given him props for his defense too, but tonight was just flat out bad. Yeah. I'm big on D'Lo. He's upped his game, but that was bad. No, Jake, you definitely didn't. This is a missable game. This was a game where if you missed it, like, you weren't mad. You're fine. So Jared says C. Godfrey says 4 of 18 overall, 11 or 1 of 11 from 3, plus the usual pathetic effort on D. Apparently, I can't read your message. Yeah, that's pretty bad. The assist might have saved him from Wancho. Yeah, I don't think it's a C. This is not. This is what realistically, Godfrey, this is probably a C for you. This is what you expect out of him. But I would say it's probably it's close to Wancho. It was a bad night. I do think it's a D. I don't think it's any higher than D. Wancho, man. I think there were some redeeming things tonight, so I can't go full on Wancho mode, but let's just say it's close. I think it's close. I'm going to give him bottom of the D tier. Just with all of us taking a mental note that was very close to Wancho for D'Lo. That's not a good night. Really bad night. Ugh. But yeah, for sure not a C game. Got cooked and it was 1 for 11. The assists definitely do, and I do think that that's why it's like there's redeeming moments. He had a couple pick and rolls with Towns, which I really like to see him and Towns because I feel like he typically does more of the pick and roll with a lot of the bench guys. But defense was really bad tonight. Offensively was pretty bad. He still ended up scoring. Only 14, but he had some more timely buckets, but man, bad night. Bad. Yeah, Towns is a very weak roller, which brings us into the next player. So D'Lo, bottom of the D tier. I agree completely. But yes, that said, everyone's defense was bad tonight. This is also true. All right, on to Towns though. Get your grades in for Towns. So he had 26 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Was kind of hoping for the triple-double, but at the same time, I don't want that because then he would have counted this as a win tonight, even if we lost. 2 blocks, 9 of 14 shooting, incredible shooting percentage, 3 of 4 from 3, 5 of 5 from the line, got to the line a little bit again tonight. Um, he had 5 turnovers, and 3 personal fouls was a negative 15. Karl Anthony Towns grades, give them to me. What did we have? Um, let's see. Coming into the year, everybody thought D'Lo would be our starting point guard. I mean, Godfrey, he is. Jared says B, and I think you're talking about Towns. So Towns tonight, like we've said, we were watching the highlights. He started the game off pretty good. I mean, he had some of those mental mistakes that I just hate, and I don't even view them as mental mistakes now. It's just like blatant disregard for caring, you know. But at the same time, he's just such a good shooter, you know. And I wish that he would be taking more. Gerald says C. Towns, he disappeared and ruined our run. He's disappeared 2 games in a row now, where he starts amazing and then just disappears. Also, only got rebounds in lieu of Vando, exactly. Which, you know, I don't really grade him too harshly for not getting the rebounds when Vando's there, and I don't really care too much when he gets the rebounds there. So, yeah, it's kind of a non-factor. He did a bad job in the first on the boards. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to the boards numbers in the first, but that would make sense since it was such a close game. You wouldn't expect for your max player to get clamped by a G League's Mav front court late in game. That's one of the quotes of the night. JBX low C for Cat. Tonight was the night he needed to take control. Shorthanded, no Ant, really no D'Lo, and just kept passing. This is true. I'm sorry, I can't see how that's a C or above. Back to the rubbish passes, 5 turnovers, didn't pick up too many fouls, though. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. Because I think you saw flashes tonight from Towns, just like yesterday, or whenever this was, 2 days ago, where he can take over the game, and he can, I mean, he should. It's against G League players, as JJ's saying. You know, he should be able to take over the game. But he just stops, you know? He just stops at a point. And sure, maybe he's trying to get other people involved, and, you know, like, that's important. And I think, what I really think is that he's kind of taking a page out of Ant's book, and I know this is going to get some people riled up, but, like Ant is a very passive player, but I truly believe that Ant's reasoning for being passive is that he's trying to get other players involved. I think Cat really only has, like, one gear. He can't do, like, multitasking of, like, oh, I am going to, like, play my game, but at the same time keep other people involved. Like, I think it's one or the other. It's either I'm playing my game where I'm scoring and dominating, or I'm being passive. And I think he kind of alternated back and forth between that tonight. He needed to have at least 20 shots tonight. JBX, I couldn't agree more. Towns also jumped twice when the guy didn't even head fake. Yeah, I mean, Towns is just weird. He just does these weird things on defense where it's like he's just trying, I don't know. It just feels like attention. What it feels like. Jake Erickson, I swear every game Cat gets in foul trouble, he's in takeover mode, and every time he isn't, he's cold. Yeah. Now, Towns just saw a buddy in the crowd giving him the game ball. Yeah. Again, that's probably on Finch, too. He should have been pushing every time out. The Cat needs to be taking shots. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. I was really high coming in onto Finch this season, and, you know, it's weird because it's almost like shades of, like, Tibbs, where, like, Towns just wasn't super involved a lot, you know? He was very, like, third player-esque, which, I mean, I guess I kind of agree with it at times. But, like, he's also one of the best shooters, if not the best shooter on their team. So you have to be letting him shoot. He needs to be taking shots. But the reason Towns disappears is that because he can't create his shot when the defense tightens up. And see, that's why second halves, I think, are really tricky for him, because the defense adjusts to Towns. They see, oh, wow, Towns went off for 17, 8, and 5 in the first half. We have to do something. And then he can't, you know. And same thing as Ant says, like, he just has to get rid of the double team. And in the first halves of the past 2 games, he has not been getting double teamed that much. Really at all, I feel like. Cat may be overthinking it for sure. I think he's been so much better when he's just been getting the ball and going. Yes. Towns with the cross court heave into the 4th row out of the double team. Yeah, see, Godfrey, that's exactly true. Towns does that all the time. And I wish that he would do it before the double got there, like Ant was saying. But the whole no one can guard me is just a lie. Yeah, that's, you know, with Towns, and this is more of a year-long speculation than a nightly speculation. But, like, Towns has this mindset that he is, like, a top 5 player, top 10 player. and that he's just on a team that isn't there yet. That's what his thought process is. He doesn't think that he needs to really work on things. He thinks that he's there. So he thinks that he's unstoppable. He thinks nobody can guard him. There's a lot of players out there that do things like that, where they say stuff like that, and it seems more of like a mental thing, where it's like they're just trying to get in people's head and get them angry. I don't think that's what Towns is doing. Maybe I'm completely misreading it, but it feels more like, no, I genuinely believe that I am the best big in the league and that nobody can stop me. So I that's what concerns me about those kind of statements, is because it's like he sees no room for growth. I see so much room for growth. Sure, you're the most talented player on the team, but there is room for improvement for certain. I mean, think of these stupid passes that you're making. Way less now, but when we win, I like Finch. When we lose, I hate him. It's hard to judge because the only thing we look for is flaws when we lose. This is also true, Gerald. This is true. Yeah, that's true. JJ, when will he accept that he's a stretch 5 who can shoot 40% from deep? I agree. I notice him a lot less than other coaches in recent history, so he gives me hope. That's true, Jake. Yeah, I mean, the past years, we've really cared about the coach. We've cared about Brian, obviously, for Flip reasons. We've cared about Flip. We've cared about Tibbs, and Adelman. He's supposed to be this really strong coach, and he's just not. It wasn't for us. He just needs to maximize his shooting ability. He just lost the athleticism. 100% agree. The people around Towns also. I think that's another thing worth talking about. We're not going to talk about it tonight because I want to end this show. But I think the people around Towns are giving him the idea that he is, that there is no higher he can go, other than just time and winning championships will come or something like that. I don't think that's how that works. So Towns has to be closer to over 100 different teammates in his career. At least he hasn't had to make things work while waiting for better players. The definition of insanity. Yeah, it inflated his ego. Cat enjoys putting up empty stats on a bad team, and MN Press saying how great he is. Okay, Godfrey, I think that's actually the take of the night. And that's how we're gonna end it. I still have to give him a grade, but that's gonna end my conversation on Towns. Towns loves this because he is a big fish in a small pond. He can be viewed as the superstar. He's gonna make all the money, which money, whatever, But I don't really think that's that big of a deal. But it's something where that is very important to him. And if the Minnesota media keeps calling him the greatest, and obviously it's not hard to be the greatest Timberwolf of all time, as if you're skilled, which he is clearly skilled. But I do think that it's accolades that he cares about, and whether those accolades are on a team like the Timberwolves or any other team that would have the ability for him to rack up those accolades, that's what he's there for. And I really wish that would turn into actual winning, actual caring. But he always says that he can't be any better stat-wise, saying that that's missing is the wins. Yeah, no. That's just... Someone needs to tell him that there are offensive stats and defensive stats. So, anyways, for Towns tonight, again, I just need to warn everybody, this is where it gets a little weird, because what do we expect out of Towns? We expect a dominating game. What do we expect against Towns going against a G League team? What do we expect? We expect 30-plus points, a bunch of rebounds, a bunch of assists, and not only that, because he had good stats tonight, we expect, what is that, Wilt Chamberlain meme that I keep seeing going around, where it's 50 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists, 10 steals, 10 blocks, or something like that. That's what we're expecting. Maybe not expecting, but you know what I mean. That's we're expecting just an absolute dominant performance, and we did not get that. I am currently below C, but I'm also kind of a high D tonight. I don't think I know people are going to say that he was worse, and they're going to say Juancho or Glenn Taylor, because realistically he should be carrying us way more, and we shouldn't have to be talking about these stupid things anymore. But we are. So, I think it wasn't a C. The stats somewhat help him, I guess. I'm not really giving him that much of a stat bonus, but I think I think this is probably a D. Probably a D night. Let's see. Let's see what everybody says at minimum. So D then. Yep. 1 through 4 when he came back, or 1 and 4 when he came back into the fourth. Yeah, true. Yeah, D. Yep. I think that makes sense. It feels weird, but as you guys all know, we've got the C as expected. Stats wise, great, but content, like the actual depth in those stats, we're missing winning plays. We're missing a winning player. Don't have right now. Sad. It's very sad. There's the tier list. I don't think I missed anybody. So, kind of a weird night. But I think that's all I have. I think I'm going to go play some video games. It's already 11:30, so I'm not many more video games. LOL, you guys are making me grow sour again. I've been nice to Towns lately. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky because like when we're winning, this is kind of the thing, and this is where I don't want to go into some tangent, but like JJ was saying, like Towns has said things like, "Oh, the stats are there. We're just waiting for the wins." He is literally sitting and waiting for the wins. He is not doing anything. I mean, I'm not. I don't want to say not doing anything because that's obviously like these players spend time trying to improve, and they're obviously the coaches, like they're going through practices, they're going over winning mindsets and everything. He's playing with Pat Bev now, but it's he thinks that the winning will just come because he's already producing. He needs to do more. He needs to do more, especially on nights like tonight. When everybody's there, everybody's healthy, you have the ability to lean on Ant and maybe D'Lo if he's shooting well. Not happening. But threw it away. I agree. Rough night, only going to get rougher. Lots of good points, though. Godfrey, sad face. In Shabazz, we trust. Man. Ready for a losing streak. We won't win without Vando. I kind of believe that. We're playing the Jazz also, and the Jazz, I don't know how healthy the Jazz are, but anyways, we're playing the Jazz on, what is it? I think we play them Thursday night. Might be an 8 p.m. game because we're playing in Utah. I can't remember. It is a Thursday 8 p.m. game, and then we have a little bit of a break until next Monday and Tuesday. We play the Celtics and the Knicks at home. I might be going to those games. I'm still like not sure whether or not I want to be going to games, especially with like, I don't know. It's just like so many people are getting sick right now, and I've heard that it's less severe, and I'm boosted or whatever, but like, just don't want to get sick, man. I just don't want to personally get sick. But yeah. Unless D'Lo gets hot, Gerald, I agree. Yeah. Let's sign Shabazz to a 10-day. Yeah, he's already on some team, right? He got signed by a G League team. I mean, just G League. But as a Wolves fan, we're built for this. We certainly are. And also, what were our expectations this year? 500? We're one game below 500. I'll take it. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully the stream worked out pretty well for you guys. If it worked out better, let me know, I guess, in the comments. If you're watching this afterwards, I appreciate you. If you watch this afterwards, you watch the whole way through, you gotta like leave a comment at the end to say, hey, I made it. Because like, what in the world, the fact that you are this deep into the game, you watched that game, and then you watched us, man, that's insane. So I appreciate it. We're using a different software tonight. I just thought I'd try it out, see what it looked like. Obviously the chat looks a little funky here, so we'll have to get some more formatting in for that. But hopefully quality looked okay. Hopefully everything's working out great and less delay even maybe. But I think this would be better for the future. Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, I appreciate everybody for watching. If you haven't already, like the video. Share the video with somebody, I guess. I don't know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're at 95 subs, unless that's changed during this. So if you can, subscribe. I would appreciate it. I appreciate chat for showing up. Everybody here on the left, or my left, your right. Yeah, perfect. Keep this. Okay, sounds good. I will. We will definitely do this. Good show. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Chris Silva in minutes. Yep. 52 wins, folks. Gerald, I appreciate the optimism. All right. I'm off to Call of Duty land. I will see you guys Thursday night. I should be available for Thursday night. I'm not sure about Ashwin yet, but I should be available at a minimum. So I will see you Thursday night. Intro as the outro. Goodbye.